It should have been already up. Hey, everybody. There, let's see, we got Pop in here. If you are here, say a hello. Let us know that you're watching. Well, hello. How are you, Nunya, Texas? Good to see you.
Miss Lippy.
There's Miss Lippy. Lippy, I'm going to talk about you in a little bit. As you can see, I got Kendra with me again. She got her a haircut yesterday. Yesterday. So she wanted to get her hair cut before she went back to school. We sure have enjoyed having her here. It's been a lot of fun. There is my boy. Hi, Jacob. Yeah, what do you think? Y'all really look like Twinkies now. Oh, goodness gracious. We've been pretty busy.
Yeah. At least not making whatever candy you come up with anymore.
Yeah, the candy making's over with. Neither one of us need any more candy.
Okay, to be fair, Jacob, the person cut it a lot shorter than the top part, a lot shorter than what it was supposed to be.
Twinkies are disgusting. Fry it, I'm telling you. I understand that. My chickens are already in bed, but I totally get it. Whew. We have been running around like chickens with our heads cut off.
Speaking of chickens.
Hey, Mike and Rochelle, how are y'all doing tonight? And there is Mr. Buddy. Yeah, speaking of chickens.
Rex is still alive.
Rex is still alive. He hasn't gone to freezer camp yet, though he almost did, but unintentionally.
That was more of Mother Nature deciding.
Guys, -9 for a wind chill is too dang cold. I should have taken pictures, because when I went out, I had 2 pairs of pants on.
Long sleeve,
the hoodie, and then a jacket over the hoodie, then a ski mask, and gloves. I mean, you could see my eyes like that.
Probably if you could see a little better, probably wouldn't have had the glasses on, because I know that.
I think it scared Rex, though. He didn't know what kind of abominable snowman was coming into his coop.
Well, he didn't attack you.
No, he didn't attack me when it was cold. Chickens did great. Rex does have a little bit of freezer burn on his cone. Or I guess frostbite's a better way to say it. So freezer burn.
He's still alive, so you can't say that.
He's still alive. But he's doing fine. He's back to his ornery self, and Barbara didn't get any freezer burn on his cone.
Are you going to call it freezer burn?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be freezer burn. Oh my gosh. It has. We went to my folks Sunday. My dad smoked a ham for me. We're still eating on smoked ham.
Are you going to tell that story?
Which one? About the smoking? We pull up to my folks. No, I didn't put Vaseline. I don't think he would let me if I wanted to.
Rex is not one to be picked up.
No, he is a little bit of a jerk, and if I get anywhere close to him, he bites the crap out of me.
Your hands are bruised because of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's... Well, hello, Patty. How are you doing tonight, sweetheart? Joe, doing okay with your power and all that stuff? Man, that storm was something else, and I know it was something everybody in the country... I know. We can't wait to see y'all too, Jacob. You'll have to Marco me what y'all want to eat.
The ham.
Oh, the ham. Yeah, we were talking about the ham.
Yes.
We pulled up to Mom and Dad's, and Kendra looks up and she said, "Papa's smoking."
No, I said, well, Papa's smoking.
And I'm like, what? I mean, my dad hadn't smoked since he was probably 20 years old. Yeah, I hear that, Patty. I can't do cold well anymore. They had a power line split in two and knocked out power for their whole street. We remember when we lost power in Conroe and it was like 12 degrees and we were without power for 12 hours. No backup power. I mean, we lived in an apartment, so you couldn't have a generator.
And we thought we would get it pretty quick since we lived right next to the police station.
Yeah, and really we did better than a lot of people did.
True. Also, finish the story.
So I'm like, what? You know, are you talking about? You know, Papa pick up a habit I wasn't aware of? And
My brain just didn't finish the sentence.
No, Daddy was smoking our ham.
Because I was supposed to say, well, Papa's smoking the ham. I just didn't add the ham to it.
Yeah. But it's a wonderful ham. In fact, that's probably what I'm going to do for dinner. So.
Wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad.
No, it wouldn't be bad.
Especially since we have tortillas now.
Yeah. You make you a wrap?
Mm-hmm.
I want some fried ham. Anyway, side conversation here. But, Jacob and their sister is coming Thursday. Going to hang out with us. And we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are, my parents for Christmas got me ham, mac, and cheese. Yeah. Ham and cheese omelet. I got plenty of eggs. I'm still getting an egg a day. So the girls are taking turns, you know, laying eggs. So
read the one right above it.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably really good.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I love ham. I would honestly prefer ham over turkey any day, hands down. I would prefer ham.
Depending on how you cook the turkey.
I guess I'm over turkeys from when we cook so many ones for the church.
Nearly set the house on fire?
She is never going to let me forget that. Ever. Ever.
You keep blaming Dad for that one.
It was his fault.
Okay, you have to explain the story now.
So we were making a turkey for we had a big Thanksgiving meal at the church that I always headed up, and I cooked.
I think this was the first year.
No, this was like the second or third, because I got the bright idea I was going to bring some of the turkeys home and cook them at the house versus trying to cook them all at the church. Hello, Built on a Rock. How you doing, sweetheart? And I just grabbed a bunch of. Exactly, Patty. I grabbed a bunch of the aluminum pans, you know, thin pans, and we went to pull one out of the oven, and it's an electric oven, and some of it spilt the grease, and it flared up. Kendra was screaming and made the alarms go off. I mean, everything was fine.
We had nasty alarms.
Huh?
We had really bad alarms.
Yeah, our alarms were stupid sensitive.
Dad, if I remember correctly, you were the one that pulled it out.
No, Dad did. It was not me.
That's what I just said.
Oh, yeah.
He asked, how is that my fault? I said, I believe it was him who pulled it out.
Exactly. Instead of waiting for a little help. But that was the last time I ever cooked those stupid turkeys at the house.
Next time you just had someone else make the turkeys at the church.
Well, it was kind of a group effort. Glenn came and helped me, and he was a trained chef from New Orleans, so I just stood back in awe and watched him cook. It's something to watch someone who is professionally trained like that work in the kitchen. He made a roux, the right way that took forever, you know, and I was just in awe. So, that boy can cook. Yeah. Yeah, it did, hon. It was not near as dramatic as all the fire alarms made it sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I learned a lot just sitting and watching him. I was like, "Is there anything I can do to help?" And he's like, "Nope, I got it." She chop up everything really fast, and it was just.
Reed built on the rocks.
Mm. Oh my gosh. That don't sound like a good time. But I wanted to talk about something real quick. Get her logo up right.
Sorta.
This is Miss Lippy's comfrey salve. Let me tell you what, this stuff is a miracle worker. I have been just lathering it on my hands and my feet and everything that aches. This stuff is absolutely amazing. And I've also got some of her lip balm. Again, absolutely amazing. And I got some spices. They're in there, but I got a full set of her spices because she graciously sent them to me. And they're amazing. The voodoo dust is, I'm with you.
I agree on that one.
The voodoo dust is now my absolute. I love all of them. Don't get me wrong, but that voodoo dust. What all were we putting it on? I mean, we put it on eggs.
Cheese or cheese ball log thing.
Oh yeah, I mixed it in my cheese ball.
Also, Miss Lovely said thank you.
You're welcome, sweet lady. It's just not flattery. It's good stuff. I've been having I've got neuropathy in my feet, so I get a lot of that neuropathy pain in my feet. And so Keith has been, yeah, voodoo dust is phenomenal. But Keith has been rubbing this on my feet when they go to cramping up.
You may have to order me some for summer.
It's absolutely amazing. I gave some to my mom for Christmas, and she loves it. So,
Reed built on the rocks. I feel that's a good question for you.
We have roasted a turkey in a turkey roaster. The main problem I had with that turkey roaster, to be completely honest with you, is it didn't brown very good. I did a video on it too, didn't I? Using the turkey roaster.
Or did we get frustrated with it?
No, I think I did a video on it, and it tasted good, but the skin did not roast at all in it, and it was fine for. Yeah, I agree. That voodoo dust can go on everything. It was really good in the cheese ball. But yes, you absolutely can use the turkey roaster, especially if you're not worried, if it's really crispy or not.
Any tricks or tips you can give?
Season well, brine if you can. Brining a turkey is really good. Usually, honestly, I never have time, or I don't make time. Let's reword that. I don't make time to brine the turkeys, but I use injectables.
Miss Lippy had a good point.
Would it in a turkey roaster though, Lippy? Because that thing to me it cooked it, but it didn't.
That's a good idea.
Blowtorch, I could get behind that. That would be a video.
With our family, yeah.
I've got to say, like any parent, when you become an empty nester and your kids go off and they come home. For me, I think you enjoy your kids even more, because it's two adults and you can be silly and and crazy and just have a good time and pick on each other. Now you get her and her brother both going at me at the same time. I'm like, you two just need to stop.
But would it brown it, Miss Lippy? That's the question.
Yes. Definitely worth trying.
Maybe do a video on it?
Well, hello, Anne-Marie. How are you doing, hun? Big Dreams, Tiny Budgets, Anne-Marie. You remember her? We used to talk on Marco a lot. Long time ago.
That was during COVID.
No, that's just true.
I don't remember anything.
The way I do it is, yes, I put some stock in the bottom of it. But I use it, like I said, I use injectables. Tony Sasseries, I'm probably not saying that right, but they make some really good.
They're green bottle, yellow top.
Green bottle, yellow top. They make some really good injectables. And I always put, finally, yeah, I know about the defrosting stuff. Hit it really hard. Yeah, you're right. Marco was pre-COVID. I inject it into the especially the breast, and it helps the breast from getting really dry. Those would be my big deals. But yeah, I put a little bit of another thing I do for the crust, if I was baking it in the oven, is I smear the tar out of it with butter, and then I put sprinkle seasoning on top of that. And I've done it several ways. I've done Cajun. I have done
just a butter based one.
Just a butter and herb.
Yeah.
So any of those would work.
Just have good seasoning and plenty of
Miss
butter.
Lippy's voodoo dust would be amazing on it. If y'all don't, Lippy, go ahead and drop your link to your Etsy, because I'm telling you guys, she's got some good product. And it's, I can't wait, Lippy. Well, hello, Allie. Merry Christmas to you, too.
Look at what Patty put.
Absolutely. You know,
that's flavor.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong with butter. You know, I used to watch Paula Deen. She was probably one of my favorite TV cooks back in the day. But she still does. She has a YouTube channel now. And occasionally I will go over there and watch her videos, get ideas. Oh, yeah, and bacon. Absolutely. That's what, some of this ham. Thank you, Lippy, for dropping it. Y'all go check out her shop. I'm telling you, you're not going to get any bad product from her at all. You're going to get some amazing product. I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Butter. I like using butter. I like using bacon grease. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I've got a chunk of that ham bone that I'm going to make some beans with, too. Because, I mean, ham and beans, come on.
With a little rice?
Yeah, do some rice. Yeah, it's so funny. I never had rice and beans until we moved down there. And it's got, Conroe and Houston's got such a Cajun influence. They've got a lot of rice and beans. So I learned to appreciate rice and beans.
Sorry.
Awesome. Yeah, it didn't take you long, did it, on that one? It really, I don't know what all is in it. I know it's all good stuff, but this comfrey salve and the lip balm, guys, I have extremely dry everything. This stuff is awesome.
reread Miss Lippy's.
Oh, how are you liking your phone, Lippy? Do you like it any better than you did your other one?
Did you catch the spelling?
No.
Read the first part.
Well, out of stock.
One more word.
Oh, Lippy. That's something that I would do, Lippy. Kendra's still getting over her cough, but I finally talked her into doing a kind of half of a shot of some Tennessee honey whiskey. And yeah, I didn't even catch it, Lippy, until I
didn't catch it until someone pointed it out.
It's Patty's fault. Patty pointed it out.
And usually if someone points out, I can reread it and find where it's at.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you. Oh, so
garlic fermented honey.
I need to get some going and made up. I've got the honey for it, but I say I've got honey for it. I don't have local honey, and I think that's what I've been kind of holding out on, is waiting to get some local honey.
Oh, it was auto focusing.
We used to have that problem with that one phone I had.
If you hold the screen for a few minutes, it should lock once it's focused, and once you do that, it should stop doing that.
Because when I was doing my overhead shot, it would just do this, and it would drive me insane. And Kendra figured out if you hold your finger to it,
on the
screen for a few seconds, it'll lock, and it won't do that.
Yeah.
I know. I'm to the point now, which I've always considered myself pretty tech savvy, but it's getting past me. And so now, I'm like, can you fix this?
Mom, that was pre-COVID you were doing that.
Not pre-COVID.
No, it was.
Well, what she's talking about is I couldn't figure out how to do screenshots with my phone. And it was a lot easier for me to say, Kendra, just screenshot it. And she's like, here, let me show you, Mom. I said, stop. Just do it. It took coordination to squeeze both sides and not turn your phone off. And now with this one, I can run 3 fingers down it, screenshots it, and I'm fine. I don't have to be coordinated for that. Lippy. Oh.
If you're looking for the comment.
Uh-huh.
That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to try to grow herbs, but I'm not against buying herbs. In fact, I've got some comfrey, and it's the comfrey I've got.
Is that the one you do
with the oil?
Oil? Then yes.
I've got some comfrey soaking that I'm hoping by this summer I'll have that ready, but not in the last few days, Allie. We're in a group chat together. Yeah, send me that link, Lippy. But I worry about her a lot. So I know her health has really just kind of been hard on her. Um, we this week, I'm hoping
50-50.
we can get out, and I'm gonna pull the dirt out of the old chicken coop, and I'm gonna put it on my garden beds, and then just let it set the rest of the winter. Because it's already set a few months now, and by the time spring comes around, it should be fine, or at least I hope it will be.
We probably should have Jacob move those beds where you want them.
Yeah, I
first.
will. I've decided that I'm going to put my grow bags around my coop, and just give an extra layer, because they can't get to every spot on the coop. So if I'm able to, like my more sensitive plants, I will put on the east side of the coop, and like my tomato plants and that kind of stuff. Well, hello, Grammy Karen. How are you doing? So we're sitting here. If y'all don't know, this is, if you can't tell, this is my beautiful daughter, Kendra. She is home for college for probably, 2 more weeks?
Depending on if my boss ever gets back to me.
We're kind of waiting for her boss to say if she needs her to come back or not. Yeah, I think so too. I think it'll be cool too by then. So, I'm just really.
Or if I get a new job.
Yeah, or you get a new job. She has been applying to get other stuff, and then her and her bestie are talking about doing DoorDash, because that's a big thing in that college town. She gets DoorDash all the time, so they've decided.
Not all the time. I try to do it once a paycheck.
Okay, well, you do DoorDash for a lot of things, though, to get groceries and.
I mostly use the HEB.
Oh, delivery deal for the groceries now?
They're cheaper.
But I told her, I said, why not? Just y'all go do it. If we had a bigger market for it here, Keith and I had signed up to do it. There's just not a big enough market here to do it. But they're going to do it on their downtime and try to make a little extra money.
That would be a good idea. Central Texas.
Oh, okay. Oh, LegalZoom is hiring, and you can work remotely. So she'd also talked about maybe being a ghostwriter for Fiverr.
Maybe.
And she's currently working on her first book. She has always wanted to be an author. And I mean, since she was little bitty, and you've been working on this since you were in high school, haven't you? This book. Well, that's one of her goals this year, is to finish that book, and she's going to self-publish. Which one of my goals is to get my dang cookbook finished. So we both kind of are going to be working on that.
Well, at least get the book to where I'm on the editing phase.
Right. Which you've got a lot of people that are good with English around you that can help you with that. But I told her, live life with no regrets. Just, you got a dream, you go for it. And that's okay. It don't mean she's doing great in school. She's going to finish her education, but you do you, and really just the sky's the limit. To be 21 again, almost 22, I mean, everybody in here could say that and think, if I was that age with the knowledge that I have now, just imagine what I could have got accomplished. But I don't think we're ever through learning and trying new things and doing new things until the day we're put under 6 foot under. So absolutely, it is so much easier to chase dreams when you're young. You have the energy and all of it.
The energy part's debatable.
Well, your exhausted part of it's just being a college student
and working for the hotel.
Yeah. So my big questions for you guys is, what is some of your dreams for this year in 2023? What are some of the things that you're wanting to accomplish in the coming year? I'll start with you. I mean, we touched on the book.
Yeah. That is honestly, I want to get it to a place where I can move from the writing phase of just doing my first rough draft to where I'm editing more. And if I can get it to published by next December, that would be nice. But I'm going to stick to getting to editing phase first. And I think this year I am definitely going to try to, while yes, focus on my health, but also focusing on just self-love.
Yeah.
Because this country does not do enough of that. Work yourself to death, and then you're just burnt out.
Yeah.
Try and prevent that.
But they were talking about that. We had the Today Show on this morning, just in the background type thing. But they were talking about being okay saying no to things and slowing down. Especially I think as Americans, we run at full tilt boogie. I mean, that's the way we were raised, right? You work hard, but I think some of these, absolutely, Emery,
but the dollars don't hurt.
Dollars don't hurt until
until you get to burnout.
I've watched family members that have children. Their kids have to be in. Well, hello, Mac. Visiting more and traveling. Okay. And just, I lost my thread.
Kids have to be in everything.
Oh, yeah. The kids have to be in a million different things. I didn't play sports until I was in junior high. There just wasn't that option. And I was too busy learning to cook and to clean a house and do gardening and playing, for God's sakes. During the summer, the minute my chores were done, I was out the door and gone and didn't come home until the streetlights came on. We didn't have an activity for everything. It didn't get busy until, junior high, and then I played basketball. I was in the pep squad for the football team. And in high school, I played volleyball. I dropped the basketball about right after my freshman year, but I stayed in volleyball until I tore my knee up. But it was one thing at a time, like the school does. You've got volleyball, then basketball, then track, and one act plays in the spring. So you don't have these million different things, and I hate that and I'm not saying sports are a bad thing with little kids. I'm not, but
it becomes a lot about competition.
Well,
rather than just doing it to have fun.
And there's a difference from doing one or two things than having to do everything. You've got to take piano lessons. You've got to take karate. You've got to be football, baseball, just, everything at once. And I really think sometimes kids don't get to be kids. And, I mean, you really weren't in anything until junior high.
No, and half the time I was so exhausted, even then, that when I did get a moment to rest, I was sound asleep.
Yeah. You had friends that, they felt like they had to be doing something constantly. And I think there's something to be said.
Sometimes I was their mother. If that was the one you're talk about?
I was being
Yeah.
not as I was trying to be tactful, Kendra. Oh, I absolutely.
And that.
Oh, have a good night, Mike. It's great to see you.
What going off of what Bill and Rock said is honestly kind of why I want to get into psychology and focus on youth mental health, because I did not get out of my childhood into adulthood without dealing with some forms of mental health.
And I think, with Kendra, most of y'all know, Kendra has Asperger's, and we really fought to get her any kind of help when she was a kid, because people didn't know, they wanted to put her in a box, and what the things she was dealing with, you couldn't really put in a box. You couldn't take a textbook open and say, well, this is what you're, it couldn't be a blanket. And that's what I hate about modern psychology and psychiatry and all of it right now, is that it's they go by a textbook, and not everybody fits in that textbook. And just dealing with, your mental health, and kids especially, you see more and more kids these days that just have serious problems. A lot of it, I think, goes back to the school districts, because the state of Texas, I can't speak for other states, I'm assuming they're the same way, but all these tests that they make the kids, they teach to the test. They're not actually learning life skills anymore. It's all about teaching to that test.
I remember, I want to say 4th grade, when we really started taking, back then it was task, I believe, and I remembered my entire class was asked teacher, why do we have to do this? And she said, I hate it too, but we have to do it because it's state of Texas. And we asked her, I was like, then why don't you change it? If you hate it as much as you're the adult. You have power.
Yep.
And I remember getting told, along with my other classmates, if you want to change it, then grow up. And that was kind of just...
Well, and the testing system that they do does not prepare them for college at all. I mean, and they pushed it so hard, everybody has to go to college, everybody has to, but you struggled the first year of college because she didn't have the skills. She was not taught the skills of college, because they teach differently than they're teaching in our high schools now.
And the high schools always said, it's not going to be, I'm going harder than I'm being a lot more lenient than what your college professors will be. And it's just...
And you found that was
false, honestly.
Yeah, it's not true.
College professors are, if you talk to them, a lot more willing to listen.
Yeah. Her professors, minus a couple, but for the most part have been amazing. So anyway, so other goals that I have is one of them is figuring out what I want Mama Z's to look like. I'm still definitely going to be doing cooking videos and that kind of stuff, but also I'm throwing different ideas around of things that I want to try to accomplish on the channel, and really just get back in the groove of things. I have, pretty much taken a month off other than our live streams, and I needed that time. I needed the break, to be completely honest with you. For the reasons that we were talking about, just being able to slow down and just reevaluate kind of where we're at and what we want to do. I'm definitely going to be doing this live stream. I really enjoy doing this live stream. We're talking. Yeah, they're not prepared at all.
And more specifically, what I would say is for high school, it is. I'm using this word very, very loosely, but in high school, we're taught work together, rely on one another. That's what we were taught to do, because that was like the only way you could really get by.
Yeah.
And that's what they pushed. And when COVID had hit us, and we went into full lockdown, and none of us knew how to teach ourselves, what were good study habits.
Yeah.
And I even say that because I was labeled a gifted student for the longest time. So, because I could finish my work easy, get good grades, but no one focused on these are good habits.
Right.
And so when COVID hit and all of us had to suddenly learn how to teach ourselves, none of us knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
And so it was very much, we weren't prepared. And
right.
A lot of teachers on social media were saying, this is the flaw in our school system, that we are not doing creative thinking.
Right.
We are not teaching them how to think outside the box.
Well, I am such a history buff.
Mm-hmm.
I love history, and Kendra would, be going over a certain subject, and I get that. I'll put this up here. I definitely want to do more canning. I want to get me a regular pressure canner. Right now I have an electric one. I want a regular one too, and learn how to do that well. But yes, absolutely. And I am going to one of my big goals is what I can't grow. I want to. There's a lot of local farms that sell fresh produce around here, and I really want to be able to go pick up, what I can't grow, go support local farmers and preserve that. I am really looking forward to that, being able to do stuff like that. So, there's a shortage of teachers too. There's a shortage of nurses, teachers. Some of these things, electricians, plumbers, things that don't necessarily require a 4-year degree. There's majors, which nursing and teaching you do, but they don't pay, especially teachers, what somebody who has a 4-year degree deserves. And that's part of the problem. When a teacher has to work 2 or 3 jobs to be able to support themselves, and nursing staff, there is such a high demand for nurses, and not just nurses, but nurses aides. I used to be a CNA years and years and years and years ago, and the lady at the nursing home, when my grandmother was still alive, she is like, do you still have your license? And I'm like, no, and I couldn't physically do the work anymore.
Read Big Dreams, Tiny Budget. I agree with her.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, Kendra and I have been talking a lot about the herbal medicines and that kind of stuff. In fact, I pulled out a couple of my books and was showing to her. And
my interest with herbal medicine, honestly, is more in the teas.
Yeah.
I have a strong interest in teas. If I could get Becca to drink one.
But I think we need to know how to heal ourselves. I do. I think.
Always ending the zombie apocalypse.
I think we're gonna get to the zombie apocalypse just because our brains are mush from, all the medications. And if you need to be on meds, you need to be on meds. But I would love to know the stuff that is just not taught anymore. I know, Lippy, you've, um, yeah, exactly, Lippy. Um, I agree with that too. Let me show this. But there's a lot of, I know, Lippy, you were trained by healers, and it's part of your culture growing up. There's a lot of something to be said about the Indians and their um, Native Americans and their natural healings and all these things that were used for centuries. Now, granted, I don't think we need to go put leeches on anybody or bleed anybody out, but there was a lot of remedies that the old wise women used to do to heal people, and I feel like a lot of that is being just lost to us. I know the Stivers, they put out some good products for that stuff too. And so, yeah, absolutely. I've talked about on here before that we me growing up, we were never called preppers, so to speak. Though we have a storm cellar that could be used for a bomb shelter. Um, and we were just, you just always put back. If you had a good harvest, then you put stuff up. You canned it, you put it in the freezer, because next year your crop may be like this year's. Absolutely, Lippy. Absolutely. And I'm not taking away from medicine either. I think, our folks, scientists and stuff, they come up with good stuff to use. Well, hello, Chubby the Beagle. How are you?
That's a CR.
Hmm?
You said CH and said CR.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to pronounce that.
Kirby?
Kirby?
Anyway, so it's really important to me personally to learn these skills. And my little granddad, this was his house. The man took a shot of apple cider vinegar every single day, and he lived till he was 93 years old. But he also took stinging nettle, and he would rub it onto his joints for arthritis on his knees. He had really bad knees, and he would rub that just stinging nettle over his knees. He says the best thing for arthritis out there. So he did.
We joked for a while that he was going to outlive all of us.
Yeah, really. I mean, he was still in great shape, up there until the end, and he started having like mini strokes and things like that. But he worked hard. He believed in herbal remedies. He also believed that if you had a stomach cramp or a pain, to put was it dial soap or Irish Spring or something.
Why did I feel like it was Irish Spring?
May have been Irish Spring. Not sure if that worked or not, but he swore by it.
He swore by a lot of things.
And most of them were legit. I watched him when I was little use the yeah, I really believe you can do stuff like that. Those dowsing rods, but he used the sticks to find well water. I remember him doing that when I was a kid. Maybe that's what it was.
Ivory soap?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right.
But I remember things like that. You know, he was a firm believer, and if you had the crud, a hot toddy, and I believe that you've got all this stuff going on, sore throat, cough.
I'm not convinced on that one yet.
But it works. You stop coughing.
Yeah,
a little shot of whiskey will.
After I die for a few minutes.
Well. So we just, you know, I started crocheting, I started canning, all these things because I didn't want those art forms to die with my grandmother. I wanted to be able to carry that on. So,
I feel you.
Knock on wood, other than, you know, a sore throat, you know how when your throat will get just kind of dry from or a little raw from your sinuses and that kind of stuff during allergy season. Knock on wood. I have not really had anything crazy as far as the crud, and we've been exposed to stuff, but
yeah, you missed out on the RSV.
Yeah, I missed out on the RSV, and I'm not complaining. But you know, Keith and I don't go out just a lot.
And I work at a hotel.
She works at a hotel. I made her take a COVID test when we got home. I took one too.
I asked you if I could.
Yeah, just simply being around my parents and stuff, but she was fine.
It doesn't help. I was actually exposed. What? It was Thanksgiving. I was exposed to it.
Right.
I got sick the following week.
Right. You come down with the RSV.
I got exposed to what? COVID, flu, and RSV.
Yeah.
At the exact same time.
But you'd had your flu shot. You had your COVID vaccines, and then.
Okay, I'm not agree with big dreams right there.
There you go. Works for me. I was saying something to that effect to my mom the other day, and she said, well, I heard it helped. Oh, side note on that, I made my mom some homemade vanilla. I was able to pick up some vanilla beans when we were in Conroe, and so I made her some homemade vanilla with vodka in it, and she was like, really? And I was like, that's vanilla, Mom. That's real vanilla.
Mrs. Lee is saying...
I see that. Lippy, I need a video on that.
Now, my question, could you add other flavorings to that? Honey and lemon are two strong flavors on their own.
Yeah.
But could you add to it?
I'm sure you could. You could add whatever you wanted to it.
Because for me, honey and lemon sometimes are not the best flavors. Better than the cherry stuff.
Yeah, she don't like the cherry cough drops, and she don't like anything with mint in it.
Peppermint mocha is a 50-50.
She doesn't, you know, growing up, I had a heck of a time getting her to brush her teeth because, well, you didn't like the mint and the toothpaste, so we had to find alternatives for you to use. So, I mean, if you don't like it, she don't like cilantro either. I love cilantro.
Well, so. That I have a gene.
Yeah, it's a
gene difference. Funny enough, all the women except one.
Bourbon, that would be good, Lippy.
That would be. One of my people I work with can't eat cilantro. The guys can. All the guys we have asked, because we got curious one day and kind of did a poll, and it was only the women.
Yeah.
Minus my boss.
Yeah.
That couldn't stand the taste.
Right. Well, you got any parting words? We're about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
we're gonna just try to organize the house a little bit tomorrow. Kendra's like, really?
Second one from the bottom.
Oh, really? I heard about that concert.
That did a big jump.
Yeah, it does that sometimes.
I say Big Dreams said it correctly.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if that would want chocolate toothpaste. Grammy, I'm so glad you caught my live too. It's great to see all of y'all. Thank you so much for your support in my channel. It means more to me than you guys will ever know. And we're about 150 away from 3,000. I still got that big giveaway to do when we hit it. So,
and try to do it before I leave so I can be here.
Yeah. And I may be doing another funny video this week.
We could do it with Jacob's here.
That's what I'm thinking. So, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all your support. We'll be back here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Come hang out with us. We love to just hang out and fellowship with you guys.
And don't forget to do all the YouTube things.
Yeah. Love you guys. And we'll see y'all in the next video. Or live stream or
whatever happens.
Whatever happens. Good night, guys.